Ubisoft is dying and they are scrambling for positive press, and it's not really working out for them, as the video game journalists that they're running to are laughed at constantly online. And now, as the Ubisoft stock prices are tumbling 34% to a new 15-year low, a former developer is denying these DEI policies are to blame, saying it's the same old fake news. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, this person went to these video game journalists, and well, what's funny is they call us conspiracy theorists. They're saying we're pushing the same old fake news. But what I think is interesting is the fact that all of these sites are writing basically the same articles. It's the same headlines, it's the same angle. It's Kotaku saying ex-Ubisoft designer pushes back against online conspiracy theories, and then you have IGN saying a Ubisoft developer hits back at online conspiracy theories. Suggesting DEI to blame for company issues is a lie, which is just so hilarious to me. It's like, yeah, the same articles with the same takes at the same time. That's not suspicious at all, though, guys. Surely this is just a coincidence. Anyway, getting into the Bounding into Comics article that covers it, it says recent months have seen its stock price tumbling roughly 34% to a new 15-year low, and while the reasons behind the Ubisoft's financial struggles are as numerous as they are readily apparent, a former employee has pushed back against the idea that the studio's DEI policies played any part in the sudden depreciation. Now, I, of course, do not think that DEI character directions are the only reason why these games are failing. That's just not the case, but it is a part of it. You are hiring cultural consultants, you're hiring narrative consultants, you are hiring people to basically comb through games while developers are making them and tell them what they can and cannot put in their experiences, and you pick characters that are going to be extremely controversial, like Yasuke, to be your playable protagonist. Of course, DEI is a part of it, but it's not the only reason these games are failing. It says, despite being framed as a quality-focused reset, Ubisoft's recent restructuring has played out more like a slash-and-burn restart, with the moves thus far involving the cancellation of 6 games, including Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake, delaying of 7 others, and closing of 2 studios, and layoffs across their various subsidiaries. I have done other videos on this. They will be linked down below, but yes, their stock prices are crumbling. You have them canceling games, delaying games, really internally panicking, and none of this is going to save them, in my opinion, if they are not going to listen to consumers. If they start listening to us and they change their game directions and they actually start creating high quality experiences again, then yeah, I do think that they could start making money the way that they used to, but I don't think it's going to be very easy for them at this point in time. Skull and Bones was a quadruple A failure. X-Defiant was supposed to be the Call of Duty killer, but died very quickly. Star Wars Outlaws severely underperformed, even though they put the most amount of money ever towards that title's marketing budget. And Assassin's Creed Shadows came and went. While, yes, we don't know if it really hit their internal goals, one would assume that it didn't do as well as they were hoping, given they handed the IP off to Vantage Studios, which that's another major issue. The fact that they think this, big creative house is going to save them in their games. I highly doubt it if they're going to still be pushing the same propaganda in their experiences, but it doesn't really sound like they feel very confident in their future right now. It notes that Ubisoft shares have been dropping in value since 2020, with its current price representing a 95.9% drop, and while many have been quick to blame these losses specifically on the studio's chasing of DEI initiatives, with recent years having seen Ubisoft's overall quality taking a backseat to virtue signaling, as perhaps most recently seen with their insistence that the historical version of Assassin's Creed Shadows protagonist Yasuke was a true samurai, despite the general academic consensus being currently unsettled. And while some policy updates regarding women's working conditions were sorely needed in light of Ubisoft's slew of 2020 sexual harassment cases, a former Ubisoft Osaka developer has denounced the theory that the studio's overall DEI efforts were a reason for its current troubles, which is just hilarious to me, because you are sitting here and saying that The DEI initiatives are not a problem at all whatsoever, even though they have put probably tens of millions of dollars into hiring DEI consultants when that money could have gone to, I don't know, hiring talented developers or just putting that into the budgeting. This person is saying that there's no way that their DEI efforts and they're pushing a propaganda push customers away. Really? Not even 1% chance? It's ridiculous. Taking to his personal X account, he said, "I'm not going to bother quoting it, but I'm utterly dumbfounded that there's yet another person out there spreading the same old fake news like Ubisoft stock prices dropped because they got too obsessed with DEI." To this end, he declared, "As a former employee, I can say this clearly," before proceeding to list out various refutations to these accusations, including the DEI advocates inside the company didn't have anywhere near the level of influence. If anything, when it comes to DEI specifically, it was actually working well. Things like improving the workplace environment and expanding markets into Latin America and the Middle East. The decline in marketing and creative output was caused by big company disease, which could happen to any corporation. As one example of big company disease, the turnover rate was way too low, which meant there was a clear shortage of senior to leadership level staff with experience developing online, mobile, or free-to-play games. On top of that, building a global development structure with subsidiaries outside French-speaking regions in a company where French is the first language led to management issues unique to non-English speaking global corporations. Putting a stamp on their pushback, the dev ultimately declared, "If Ubisoft were to ditch the verification of the above and get swayed by internet conspiracy theories into scapegoating the DEI advocates, there would be the final nail in the coffin for them, no question," which is just a whole lot of nothing that they're saying. They're basically saying you're all conspiracy theorists for even daring to think this, even though there is a clear list of problems that we have also pointed out. And yes, again, as I said before, when you are putting tens of millions of dollars into hiring people who just sit there and micromanage and push diversity instead of focusing on the overall quality level of the project, yeah, it does affect the final product. It does affect the way that your game releases. And of course, gamers are pointing and laughing and saying this is insane copium, as the ex-employee claimed DEI only improved things and wasn't an issue for falling shares. It's got nothing to do with a big business. DEI's 50% resentment slash hatred against race, biological sex, sexual orientation, and female beauty, and 50% unfettered mental illness going off the deep end. It alienates almost everyone in the world for one or more reasons. Not great. Yeah, when you basically say, "We hate your guts," and you're saying that to literally everybody, it's not a good look. Laughing my ass off, DEI only improved things? Sure. No wonder this company sucks now. Ubisoft on their deathbed, did we at least own the Chuds? I love this image so much. It wasn't our fault. It was the greedy capitalists that made us turn watchdogs into a Reddit tier Antifa simulator. When a public institution says it is pursuing diversity, it means that it will never again accomplish anything useful. Behind the euphemisms, diversity means we are putting in unqualified people and pretending they add value. Diversity is a tax to subsidize incompetence, and this is 100% correct. Completely delusional, just shows they don't listen to fans at all. Are you sure? It does improve things. For the DEI hires, it doesn't improve products, though, and from experience, we can tell it's quite the opposite. Insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So yeah, it's not a very good look for Ubisoft, and while they went to the media and tried to get people on their side, it's clearly not working. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.